Meanwhile, in a significant show of strength, India's aircraft carriers INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant performed combined operations conducted off India's western seaboard. This was a sophisticated operation involving aircraft carriers, warships, fighter aircraft, submarines, helicopters. It was a high-octane action. WION correspondent Siddharth MP brings you this special report about the Indian Navy's carrier-based aviation assets. Take a look.
INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant, the largest warships of the Indian Navy, sailing in tandem. Flanked by a host of warships, submarines and a diverse fleet of naval aviation assets. It is a spectacular sight to behold. Weighing over 40,000 tons, each of these aircraft carriers are floating airfields that serve Indian strategic interests globally. Along with the two aircraft carriers, there were other vessels and more than 35 aircraft took part in the mega exercise in the Arabian Sea. Aircraft carriers serve as lead ships of what is known as a carrier battle group. The battle group is an assortment of naval platforms where each one complements the strength of the other. And to top it all, there are the naval aviation platforms that maintain a hawk eye from up above. The Kamov 31 helicopter is among them. It is the most unique helicopter in the Indian Navy and serves as the eye in the sky.
It's used for is to detect the incoming missiles, the air targets, and also it can detect the surface targets. Thereafter, it transfers the radar picture on data link.
There are also deck-based supersonic fighter planes that are meant to protect the carrier fleet and carry out aerial offensive operations and strike hard at land and sea-based targets. That role is handled by the MiG-29K. It's an all-weather twin-engine fighter plane. It is capable of day and night operations and carries a wide range of bombs and missiles.
When you are carrying out operations on ground, you have a lot of ground features available to you for orientation. There might be some road, some village, some hut or some distinct feature based on which you can orientate yourself. But when you're flying over the seas, there are no such features available to you. You have to rely completely on the systems. You have to rely on the communication which you're having with the ship, and you have to rely on your other systems, onboard systems, based on which you can carry out an approach and landing on board the carrier. And unlike a runway, which is a steady platform available to us, the ship is continuously rolling, pitching, and it is continuously moving as well. So all those factors need to be catered for when you are making approach.
Fighter aircraft are highly sophisticated machines with thousands of moving parts and a blaze on their tail.
We are looking at the MiG-29K carrier-based fighter aircraft. This is a Russian origin aircraft which is the mainstay of Indian Navy's carrier-based fighter fleet. The K in MiG-29K stands for Korabelny. It's a Russian word which means ship-based. Of course, this is also an aircraft that operates with the Indian Air Force, but the K variant is specifically for the Navy. We'll show you around and we'll also give you some context into why this aircraft is a K variant and what makes the K variant special. Korabelny means ship-based. So here to store on the ship's deck, on the aircraft carrier's deck and in the hangars, you have this particular foldable wing, which is actually a feature which makes this aircraft easier to store. And particularly when you talk about the aircraft's engines and when you talk about the other features, this one features more powerful engines. The engines on board this one are the RD-33 Klimov engines, MK engines, RD-33 MK Klimov engines. These are much more powerful than the other variants of MiG-29 engines, primarily because they have to develop more thrust in a very short duration. And one of the most special features of this aircraft is this tail hook. You don't find this elsewhere. The tail hook is primarily meant to latch on to the arrestor wires on the carrier, and that is how this aircraft is brought to a halting stop in just a matter of 2 seconds. And that is the most precise aspect of this kind of aircraft. One other aspect about this 29K variant is that the undercarriage of the aircraft is extremely strong and much more stronger than the conventional variants, mainly because this has to handle the landings and the stress of the landings on an aircraft carrier deck.
The MiGs and Kamovs are aided by a host of other types of helicopters. Together, the aerial assets act as force multipliers for the Navy. They perform a wide range of roles including search and rescue, logistic support, anti-submarine warfare, etc. By successfully demonstrating two carrier battle group operations, the Indian Navy has yet again proven their maritime prowess. With two carrier battle groups, the Indian Navy can perform a wide range of operations on the eastern and western seaboard. As India continues to bolster its security apparatus, aircraft carriers will remain paramount in shaping the nation's defense strategy and promoting regional stability. With video journalist Sujay Das, Siddharth MP, WION World is One.